Okay, I'm back. This is number 2 in my awesome series of Premiere Pro preparation videos. How you doing, students? Okay, what we're going to do is I've introduced you to the user interface, and now we're going to do some projects that are going to help prepare you for the test. First of all, we're going to want to import a couple of videos. I put 2 videos out in Edmodo for you. Let's see. File import. I've got a what have I got for you? Alright, I got a Suicide Squad, and if I hold the control key down I can select the second one. I got a Harry Potter one too. That's for Mariah. She insisted that we have a Harry Potter one, so she made me promise to put one in. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we will do is we'll take the Harry Potter video and we will insert it into the sequence. And the easiest way to do that, you could drag it, of course, or you could also right-click on it, and you could just say insert. But it's not there. Okay, it's not a good day already. All right, so let's do new sequence from clip, and we'll pop it in there. Notice it creates a new clip, and oh, it put both of them in there. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. All right, here, let's delete those. All right, here's what I want you to do. Yeah, I'm going to delete that too. All right, pretend that other stuff didn't happen. All right, so we'll just click on one trailer, and then remember what this is called? This is scrubbing, right? Okay, I'm going to right-click. There it is, and there's insert. Okay, so that's the right way to do it. I just didn't want to start the video over. All right, so over here in my sequence, I can see the video in the program monitor. Now, if let's say I want to do something with the Suicide Squad video, I double-click that, and now that appears in the source monitor. Okay, remember the source monitor shows me things that are in my project panel. The program monitor shows me things that are in my sequence. Okay, very good. Now, let's say I want to take this video and insert it into the middle of the Harry Potter video. Okay? All I would have to do, now you could go in and delete this section in here, cut it with the razor, and move it over and insert it and make it all fit. Or you can use this lovely insert button. This thing is fabulous. So watch what happens. If I take my insert button and I just click it, it pops this little 21-second video that I have from Suicide Squad right wherever this stupid playhead thing is. Okay, so that is a really neat thing. Now let's undo that. If you do Control Z, you can undo that. Hold the Control key down and tap Z. Let me show you what this next button does. This is the overwrite button. What this will do is it will insert the video, it will overwrite the video over to these 21 seconds, starting with the playhead. Okay, and you'll notice that the video, see when I did the insert, the video got longer, didn't it? Okay, Control Z, undo that. When I do the overwrite, the video will not get any longer. Watch this. Boom, it inserted the video and it overwrote this 21 seconds, so this video stays the same length. And I deleted all the stuff underneath it. It got overwritten. Cool, huh? Alright, let's undo that. Control Z. Now, the next thing is the tricky part. This seems terribly confusing, but after you do it a couple times, it's no big deal. Let's say I just want a piece of this suicide trailer in there. Okay, I've got I've got like 10 seconds of the villains being introduced. So let's do that. Let's take 11 seconds. You can see when I move the trailer here, this part where the villains are introduced is between 0 and 11 seconds. So what I can do is I can set my in-out points, the little mark in and mark out. So let's go to the 0 spot. If I put a 0 there, bam, it brings me back to the beginning, well, obviously. And I'm going to set an in point. See where it says mark in? Bam. Now I've set an in point there. And by the way, you can also hit I on the keyboard. That's another shortcut. Remember we learned that last year? All right, now let's say I want to go to the 11-second mark. I can put 11, and that's 11. The third set of numbers is the seconds. The fourth set of numbers is the tenths of seconds. So if I put the colon in and then 00, it's going to take me right to 11 seconds. The first set of numbers right here are hours. Then we have the second set is minutes. Then we have seconds, and then hundredths of seconds. Okay, so you can see now it's taken me to the 11-second mark. Now I'm going to mark out. And you can see that we have this nice cute little bar. And now we have selected those 11 seconds. Isn't that wonderful? That's fabulous. Okay, so now let's see what happens when we do the insert. We'll click on insert, and notice we only have the 11 seconds that we marked the in and out points. Okay, so that's what that's for. That's for marking areas that you want, and then generally you insert or overwrite them into your video. Isn't that nice? That's nice. That's odd. I thought you'd think that was nice. Okay, now if we pop over to our program monitor, you can see in our program monitor it's showing us our new video. We have Harry Potter and Suicide Squad are combined. Now, as you know, we can set all the same things up. We can mark in, we can mark out, we can do various things like that. And we also have the lift and we have the extract buttons. So I think it's important that we explain those. What the lift button does is it, as you might imagine, it lifts a video out of its spot. Not a video, a clip. I'm sorry. These are all little clips. These are 3 clips down here now. So let's say I wanted to take the Suicide Squad clip that I just created and lift it out. I click lift, and nothing happens. Okay, probably because I didn't set any in and out points. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, Mr. Routhier messes himself up. That's cool. All right, so let's go to the beginning of this clip, and it's at, you can see it's at 31 seconds. We'll just make it a clean 31. And we'll mark it in. Come on, you. 31. Oh, I didn't hit enter. After you put the... Oh, no. I went to 31 hundredths of a second. All right, so I've got to put in 31, and then the colon, and then 00. So that'll take me to 31 seconds. Oh, that's not quite enough. Let's go to 31 and a half seconds. All right, that's nice. All right, and now if I want to go to the end of that, that's 11 seconds longer. Oh, let's mark it now. We'll click the mark in. And now we'll go to the end of this video, and you can see that that is at 42.29 seconds or whatever. Again, I can roll this, I can grab the playhead and move it, or I can use this little playhead position and just move it there. And we'll mark the out spot. Okay, so that's cool now, right? So we got this little area, you see the little blue there. Now, let's hit the lift button. And it has taken that area that we marked in and out and lifted it out. Okay? If I want to put it somewhere, I can paste it by going Edit, Paste, and it will come back. Okay, let's undo those last 2 things. Control Z, Control Z. And now we still have the this area marked, the in-out area. And now let me show you what the extract button does. If I press extract, it removes the area that we marked in and out, and then it does this ripple delete where it actually shortens the video and it brings it back to, it shortens it, it deletes it, and then it gets rid of that little gap. Whereas the lift did not get rid of the gap. Okay, well that's pretty neat, isn't it? Okay, what else shall we learn? Let's take a title. Now we have been doing titles all year long. Okay, we'll go and put a little title in here, and you know how to do that, right? Title, new title, default still, and we will say on this title. Now remember, if you want to type, the type tool has to be pressed. Hi, students. Okay, and then I can just turn that off. And here it is over here in the project panel area, and I can just bring that in. I can say hi, students. Naturally, I can adjust the length of it if I don't like the length. Now, let's say you want to mess with this title. If I double click on it, I can alter the kind of title it is. You see this little icon right here? The roll crawl options one. This is terribly important. Click on it, and I think you'll remember we messed around with this. If I want to do a roll, I can. The roll makes the titles move up and down. I can do crawl left to make it move horizontally to the left, and I can do crawl right to make it go to the right. Isn't that cool? Okay, so there's one other weird thing with the titles. When I am putting a title in, alright, let me find this whole thing here. Sorry for another slightly awkward silence. Okay, when you're putting the title in, there's two ways to put this in. There's paragraph text versus point text. And in the paragraph text, you set up a text box before entering the text. Now we didn't. We just started typing. And that's called point text. And then you just start typing, and then the title becomes as large as it's needed. Okay, just a little fine point for you to be aware of. Okay, we'll close that down. And we will continue here. Workspace. Alright, let's say you're working on your video and you have created a new workspace. Let's say for some reason you want to, you've got, what should we have? I don't know, anything. You want to have the effect control window showing for some reason. Okay, what you can do is you can set this up so it is permanently your workspace. What a workspace is it's basically how all the panels are arranged. I don't really want to do that. I'm going to Control Z that. Actually, yeah, there we go. I want to leave it like this, but just let's say you create your own configuration that you like. You know, you put your tools up here in the top, or you move them around, or whatever. To create your own personal workspace that you can use without having to do that every time, you go Window, Workspace, and do this with me. And then you come down here and you say, I'm going to create a new workspace. Okay, I need it. And so I'm going to call this Routhier's Workspace. I'm going to say OK. And now I have created my own workspace. Isn't that nice? If I wanted to go back for some reason, I could go Workspace, and I could delete the Routhier one that I created, or I could reset it back to the default workspace that we see. Okay, so that's what a workspace is. Okay. All right. Another point that we should go over real quick. Let's say I want to bring in just a piece, just the audio or just the video of the Suicide Squad video. Okay, I think I've shown this to you last year, but again, this is all like a big reminder. You see this little drag video only. If I just want to bring in the video, I can click on that, and it will bring in Suicide Squad video. Let's say I just want the audio. I could click here, and now I just get the audio. Okay, so that's just a little handy way of getting the video or the audio. Isn't that nice? Yes, that's super nice. Okay, what shall we learn next? I'm actually going through my document that I created for you because I have a sneaking suspicion that not all of you are going to read it. I know, crazy, crazy, crazy. Mr. Routhier is crazy. Why would you not read this? I honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't. It's such a beautiful document. Oh, there's another cool import thing I forgot to show you. Let's say I want to import a whole folder of things. Okay. I don't think I ever showed this to you. If you do File, Import, check this out, this button I found. It's called the Import Folder button. So let's get a folder. And you can just pick any folder, it doesn't matter. I can say Import Folder. And boom, that entire folder is imported. Isn't that cool? Oh. Alright. Only I think it's cool. But, you know, that's pretty normal. Okay. Another point that I'd like to make you aware of is how to adjust the audio. Okay, let's say this new little audio clip I've got down here, audio 3. Let's expand this clip. Okay, there should be a way to expand this thing. Hello. It's not expanding. Come on now. I'm being nice to you. You're not being nice to me. Okay, I got this whole clip. I got an audio clip, and it's not... Wow. This thing's being mean to me. What I'm trying to do... Do I need to right click on you? Delete track, assign source, rename. Wow. Well, this just completely failed. This really failed. I'm so sorry. Okay. What I expected to hear was a little yellow line. I guess I need to do my little research better. A little yellow line on here. And then if you want to adjust the volume of the clip, you've got to use your select tool and grab the little yellow rubber band. It's called a rubber band. That little yellow line in the middle, and drag it up or drag it down. Dragging it up increases the volume, dragging it down decreases it. I don't know why I can see it. Just close your eyes and pretend that you can see that rubber band. Okay, did you do that? Good. That's a good job. All right, rendering. We've only talked about rendering as far as, hitting the Enter key to render. But if, in case you need to render in some specific way, if you click on Sequence, you can say Render Effects in Work Area, and that's what we normally do, remember, when we hit Enter. And it gets rid of that little red line. We can render the entire work area, or we can just render the audio. So you can render specific things as you see fit. Okay, one other thing I was going to talk about was effects. If we wanted to mess with this and add effects, uh, the first thing you'd want to do is actually take the effect and put it into the video. And the way you do that is you come down to your program panel and you click on effects. And let's say I've taken some video and I want to stabilize it because it's kind of shaky. That video is called, you click on distort, and it's called, let's see, warp stabilizer. Okay, so I'll take my warp stabilizer and I'll drag it into my first video. My first clip, sorry. Okay, now if I need to adjust, and I can do that with any of these effects, of course. We've played around with effects before. You can blur it and move it and do all kinds of things to mess with it. Okay, we're just kind of grabbing this warp stabilizer at random. And now if I want to tweak the effects of my warp stabilizer or whatever effect I'm doing, I come up to Effect Control up here above my source monitor. And now I can mess with this thing. And you can see it's going through the whole clip that I have, frame by frame, and it's trying to stabilize it. And you can see right here it's going to take 4 minutes. Okay, but I can do a couple things in here. If you click on these little arrows and you put them down, it shows you different things. You can go in here and I can say only stabilize it in crop. I can change the position, perspective. I can do all these kind of goofy things to it if I want to. So we spent a lot of time animating, if you remember. We're not going to get into that at the moment, but I just wanted to show you the effects. We can do all kinds of crazy effects to this thing, but for time's sake, we're not going to. Cool. All right, what other cute little things did I want to show you? Oh, exporting. Exporting is super duper important in as far as the test goes. They really, really, really want you to know how to export stuff. So let's say I've got my great project here, which isn't really a great project, you know, because we're just kind of slapping things around. And I want to export this thing. Okay, well, you guys have done a ton of exporting in my class. I can do export, and you know, of course, we usually go to media. One thing I want to point out here, Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is a software, video editing software made by Apple. It's extremely popular. Lots and lots of people use it. So Adobe decided, hey, let's say you have Final Cut Pro and you have Premiere Pro, or maybe you have two people working together and they each have their favorite one. You can export your Final Cut, your Premiere Pro project as a Final Cut Pro to make it easier for the Final Cut people to deal with. Isn't that nifty? Okay. Let's say you're just doing a normal export, though. If you remember, by exporting, we create a video. When we save our Adobe Premiere Pro project, it saves as a PROJ project. With that little purple icon. And it's no good to anybody except whoever's working on the Premiere Pro project. When you export it, you turn it into a video that you could upload to YouTube and watch. You can't upload a Premiere Pro project. You can only upload a video. Okay, so we have a number of settings in here that we've used typically. We can set up which format we want to send it out to. And AVI is a Microsoft format that's very popular with Microsoft stuff, and not with Apple, of course. You can see we have some Flash formats in here. F4V and FLV are both Flash formats. And why did I click that? Come on! Oh, I just ruined my lecture. Good job, Chuck. Excellent work. Excellent work. It's just kind of spinning now. There are MPEGs in there, MPEG 2 and MPEG 4, that are very useful for us. Here, let's get back to this. Oh, there we go. Yes. So those are our Adobe Flash video formats. MPEGs that I was saying, and MPEG is really kind of one of the standards that everybody uses. It stands for Movie Picture Expert Group. So there's all kinds of people all over the world that have developed this standard to make it into a cool standard. H.264. This is a kind of a advanced high-end MP4, very often used with Blu-rays. So that's a cool standard. And then a lot of these are, as you can see, are pictures. Oh, Windows Media. That's Windows. That's a WMV. It's kind of a crappy small video made in. It's what we used to use in Movie Maker, but it's kind of a Microsoft only thing. And then you can see we have all these different. We have sound ones and we have picture ones. Basically, assets in Premiere Pro are video, audio, and images. Okay. Here we have the output name. This is really important. You need to give your thing a name, and you need to know where you're putting it. So pay attention to where you put things. Okay. You can see here that if for some reason you only want to export the video, you could turn the audio off, or maybe for some reason you only want the audio, you could turn the video off. Okay. This tells you details about this stuff, blah, blah, blah. The source range. The source range is how much of the clip do you want to export. Usually you just want to do it all, but if for some reason you don't, you can alter this thing so that you're not going to export the whole clip. Okay, when you're finally done with this thing and deciding what you actually want, let's go back to AVI.